little bit of Broadside to kick off the show there. I believe that's off their latest album. They popped up on my Spotify suggested as I was driving down to Salt Lake City over the weekend to go see Bill Murray, the Home Team, and Gain. And I listened to the entire album, thought they were pretty fun, so I figured why not play them today. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. I am Peaches. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. The Bill Murray Show, downright fantastic. Had such a great time. Gain was pretty funny, kind of cringe, which is what I think they were going for. The singer was doing kick flips, or trying to do a kick flip on the stage, I should say. The Home Team, they're awesome. They would be a horrible band to have open for you because they're just that good. It's like having a fantastic comedian open up before you go on stage. Like, you're going to have to really woo the crowd, but the Home Team and then Bill Murray, what a great combo, really. Such a fun show. I talked about it on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. There was this serial farter standing right in front of me and Aubrey, and it just stunk. It stunk like every 10 minutes. It's like, dude, what did you eat before the show? Like, it wasn't like that typical metalhead BO smell. No, this was like straight up just like, I may have made an accident in my pants. Kind of far. Like every 10 minutes. Like, no, actually, you didn't even hear it. You just smelt it. Luckily enough, like I talked about on the noon hour as well, Jeff from down the hall, FJ, who you can hear on Alt 101 Saturdays from 10 to 3, he was making his way to the front screaming, "Excuse me, out of my way. Excuse me, coming through." And so I followed him. Sure enough, I ended up right in front of that family, and I guess that family was very upset that I, out of all people, was standing in front of them. They didn't say anything to me. They just made a big scene about it because Aubrey, I guess, had her eye on them, and they were all upset, and they moved. So luckily I got the serial farter and his family to get out of that vicinity, go somewhere else and stink it up. Bill Murray overall was awesome. I uploaded the videos on our socials at KBear101FM. I also uploaded a video of how I scratched the top of my head. You can find that on my personal Facebook at Brendan Peach. Apparently Victor didn't see it. I thought everyone saw it. We stayed at this old 1920s house, and we were specifically in the basement, which you had access to from the outside. It was on top of Capitol Hill in Salt Lake. I'm usually really good at ducking. Like, it kind of irritates me when people will tell me, like, "Oh, watch your head." Like, no kidding, stupid. Like, of course I'm going to watch my head. I was throwing the toothpaste back to Aubrey or something like that. Like, she was on the bed and I was down the hall. And this particular part of the hallway had a shorter part of the ceiling or something like that. And so when I went to turn back around, I just skidded the top of my head right there. Oh, so embarrassing. I couldn't even stand up straight to brush my teeth. It was that cramped in the bathroom. Again, if you want to watch that video, it's up on my Facebook, my Instagram as well, at Brendan Peach. If you want to get a hold of me, you can, 208-535-1015. We'll be doing the KBear 101 Secret Sound powered by the Advocates at some point this afternoon. How much money is up for grabs, I'll have to check, but I know it's a lot. While I was out yesterday, I did post a lot on social media, and I did know that the new MGK featuring Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit track was set to be released as of this morning, and sure enough, it's out. I looked at the lyrics, and there's no way I'm going to be able to edit that entire track and make it sound good. They better send me a radio edit, all right? I would love to play the entire thing, but it's just way too explicit. Way too explicit for me to even attempt to do so. So I apologize. I was going to try to do this crank it or yank it kind of thing today, see what people thought. From what I've heard, people were kind of surprised by it. Like, they were pleasantly surprised. Like, they kind of liked it. It was more so of a nu metal Fred Durst influence, but it still has that MGK name attached, so people were obviously making jokes about it online. So if somehow, some way in the near future I'm sent a radio edit, I'll make sure to play it for It's So New weeknights at the top of the 5 p.m. hour right here on Peach's Pit Party. So I was reading here about the latest in Lazy Boy technology. Lazy Boy has partnered with the audio experts at Klipsch. How do you say this? Oh, is it just Klipsch? Klish? to create a furniture line with high-end speakers and subwoofers built directly into their recliners and sofas. Now, what I was thinking about, what I was laughing about, is that I could only imagine someone falls asleep on your couch. You have this new lazy boy. They're chilling. They fall asleep. My friend Bryson does fall asleep almost immediately. It's quite crazy how he's able to do it. Takes me a while to fall asleep, and usually I'm a very light sleeper. Something moves. All of a sudden, I'm up. Some weird noise happens. Boom. I'm ready to go. But there are those people out there that just fall asleep anywhere. And if somebody falls asleep on the couch while you're watching a movie, or you guys are all watching a movie, but you're not necessarily using the speakers on your couch, you got that sound bar or just, the volume out of your TV like what I have. I can only imagine the pranks that would come out with this thing. The sound system is embedded into the furniture, delivers deep bass vibrations you can actually feel in clear tones positioned perfectly around your head. Now, could you imagine your dad falls asleep in the chair and you decide to put on, I don't know, like the Monsters, Inc. theme with the bass boosted, something like that. Scares him half to death, you give your dad a heart attack. This is gonna cause more harm than good. I found a relatable story here. If you're a dummy like me, especially when it comes to technology and you have no idea what you're doing, especially when it comes to gaming computers or just computers overall, usually when I'm here and there's some type of problem, I just give out the Jade signal. He'll come over and fix it with ease. There was one time back when I was on 105 The Hawk in the afternoons, I couldn't get the mic to work. It just wasn't putting my voice over the air. So I run to Brad, because Brad was the engineer at the time. Brad Royal, shout out to him. I wonder what he's up to. He comes over to the studio and goes, "Hey, dummy, your mic is all the way down. You got to put it to the normal volume here. You got to put it right here." Super easy fix. I was looking at this story about how a gaming laptop that was brought to a repair shop for overheating problem. Yeah, there was decorative stickers found to be the problem. The tech fixed it in under 10 seconds after removing the stickers covering its fan. You know what? I would pay full price just for him to never tell that story to anybody else, making me look bad. Let's play some Dog Star, All In Now on K-Bear 101. The New York Mets are spending more than $381 million in salary this season, more than every team in Major League Baseball except the LA Dodgers at $415 million. And after losing to the Chicago Cubs 2-1 in 10 innings on Sunday, the Mets have lost 11 straight games. The team's longest losing streak since, 22 years ago, 2004. While it's still early in the season and the Mets can rebound, right now they've got the worst record of Major League Baseball at 7-15. Tune in tonight and maybe hate watch to see if the losing streak continues when the Mets battle the Minnesota Twins. Another NFL season and another chance for quarterback Aaron Rodgers to mess with his team's draft plans. The Steelers have not received any communication from Rodgers about whether he will play this upcoming season, and they don't expect the 42-year-old to come to a decision before the first round of the draft gets underway in Pittsburgh on Thursday. The Steelers will hold a 3-day voluntary minicamp this week, and with Rodgers not around, 2025 sixth-round pick Will Howard is set to serve as the team's number one quarterback. Joe Flacco has played 18 NFL seasons, and he has some concerns about the seasons getting longer after he retires. NFL owners want to expand to an 18-game season, and Flacco said, what happens when we go to 18? Are they going to want 20? Are they going to want 22? We used to play 14 games before I was born. At some point, it has to stop. Flacco added that he thinks players will eventually go along with an 18-game season because that will bring in more revenue and increase the salary cap. Brace yourself, by the way, for more World Cup sticker shock as NJ Transit announced that round-trip tickets from Manhattan to the stadium will cost a staggering $150 per person during the World Cup. That's nearly 12 times the usual $12.90 fare for the 9-mile ride, while other host cities like Los Angeles and Atlanta are keeping fares low. New Jersey Governor Mickey Sherrill, or maybe Mickey Sherrill, I don't know, says the massive hike is necessary to cover a $48 million funding gap left by FIFA. Yikes. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I mean, could you imagine something like this happening? Your kid is off to school. You watch him try to get on board the bus. Next thing you know, for some reason, he doesn't make it in time or something like that. I don't know how this happens. 12-year-old boy dragged over 380 yards along the road by his school bus after his arm gets caught in the door. And I'm looking at the picture of him. He's outside. Like, he's on like this little edge of the bus. Somehow he was able to lift his legs off the road, and he just hung on there with his right hand to the inner door rail while passing parked cars just centimeters away. Wouldn't a car driving by see that right away and, like, try their best to get the bus driver's attention? Wouldn't the bus driver see, is something wrong with the door? There's so many questions to this. Like, isn't there some type of sensor that if the door doesn't close all the way, it would say it, just like what a normal car does? Or did that bus driver just really hate that 12-year-old and was like, yeah, I'll show him. He owed me money, and so I had to teach him a lesson. I was hanging out with Aubrey yesterday, and we were just sitting there, and loyal listener Jeff, shout out to him, another Jeff that, there's too many Jeffs, actually, now that I think about it. We have a few listeners that are real loyal to us named Jeff. We got Jeff down the hall who goes by FJ, who does Saturday middays on Alt 101, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Alt 101 or HD2 music channel, which you can download the app for, or you could, if you have an HD radio in your car, switch over to channel 2, see what I'm talking about there. Alt 101, Idaho's alternative. One of our listeners named Jeff sent me this story about how this guy in Irvine, was it Irvine? I swear I saw the name Irvine, but now it's not popping. There we go. According to Irvine police, this guy was going into stores like Target, Walmart, etc., and he would buy these Lego sets, these very expensive Lego sets. He then would remove them from their boxes when he got home, and he would take out key figures and different parts that he wanted to keep, and then he would fill up the box with dry Goyo pasta and then return the Lego set back to the store. He did this 70 times, 70 known or suspected incidences, according to investigators. This guy could have stopped at 68, maybe even 67 or 69, could have gotten away with it, but 70 was just too far. Imagine you're that person who buys themselves, you buy yourself an expensive Lego set. It's like $500. You're like, this is me treating myself. You go home and you open up the box and just see all this dried pasta coming out. Wouldn't you be mad? Maybe I could save this question for To Peach Their Own tomorrow. What do you feel, or how do you feel about dogs and cats being able to go on cruises? This newer cruise company, Fabled Voyages, they want to allow dogs and cats on board as part of a long-term live-on-a-ship travel plan that they have. Most major cruise lines, they ban non-service animals because of issues like sanitation, limited space, allergies like what I have, international port restrictions. Some exceptions already exist. Like, I think there's like a dog-focused cruise, which I think we made fun of back in the day. Could you imagine going on a cruise and then all of a sudden like 250 dogs are on board with you just howling all night, barking their heads off? A lot of people treat pets like kids, and I think those are the people that kind of ruin it for me. If you're doing a long cruise, or especially a 15-year floating lifestyle like this company is pitching, leaving them behind feels unrealistic. I mean, obviously, but still at the same time, like, you should have that separate option just for them. Don't allow them, like on Carnival or where people just want to get away from, I would say, their pets and their kids, their lives. They want to enjoy themselves. They don't want to deal with this Pomeranian all up in their face asking for food, That's a great To Peach Their Own question for tomorrow. I should save this one. How do you feel about pets on cruises? Reminded me of what happened over the weekend. We were at the old spaghetti factory. Aubrey and I decided, hey, you know what? Let's just treat ourselves. Go to a nicer restaurant. Let's go to the old spaghetti factory. So they seat us up at the top, up this flight of stairs. We're in the far back, almost by ourselves. Sure enough, what do they do next? About 15 minutes after we sat down, they guide these 3 girls who just walked in with massive dogs. Massive dogs. We were shocked that they allowed these massive dogs inside the restaurant. A fancier restaurant, may I add. Like, you would think if it was like a lazy dog cafe or something where they really highlight the ability to bring your dog, bring your cat to the restaurant, that they would just go there instead of coming to the old spaghetti factory. And these dogs did not look like emotional support animals. They looked like just like they wanted to bring their dog in. You know, those people that walk around the grocery stores with their dog for no reason at all. I mean, I understand it completely. Don't get me wrong. If it's a seeing eye dog, if it's a guard dog of some sort, whatever it may be. But if it's just like, to us, it just looked like 3 girls brought in their dogs because they couldn't leave the house without them, kind of thing. And it almost ruined our dinner because we were just sitting there. We're like, oh, these dogs are right next to my seat too. My allergies could go off. Anyway, enough of my complaining here. Let's play some Bad Flower. I like this track. Ghost on K-Bear 101. Nickelback, Bones for the Crows. Wasn't that the official theme song of WrestleMania? Was it 42 or 41 that happened over the weekend? I wasn't able to watch any part of it. I did actually, you know what? I did see the highlights on social media, which I'm still very upset about, that Sports Center, out of all things, ruined the Royal Rumble for me. Just like how the Eastern Idaho State Fair, their lineup was evidently spoiled for a lot of people because the thing in the mail popped up for people 2 days ahead of time, 2 days ahead of the announcements today. I made sure to have everything blocked, not check my phone, and sure enough, right there at the top of the page, Sports Center tells me who won the Royal Rumble. But over the weekend, I did see the highlights of WrestleMania 40, whichever one it is. And I did see that Brock Lesnar retired. And I remember when he debuted, I did see one of my friends posted that on Facebook too, talking about Brock Lesnar debuted back when I was a young kid. And I can't believe he's now officially done. He's still young too. I mean, isn't he like 43? How old's Brock Lesnar? Can I look this up real fast? Brock Lesnar. 48. Okay, so he's almost 50. Yeah, you know what? It's time to hang it up. You know, he still looks like he could wrestle, but at what point do you want to just stop doing it, traveling around, being forced to do these shows? It's quite exhausting, I feel like. Trying to do all these different PLEs and Monday Night Raws or whatever. He did that thing. Well, in wrestling, you're supposed to lose your final match. He did lose his match. And then he untied his shoes, his boots, left them in the middle of the ring to signal the fact that he is done with wrestling. And the thing that's been popping up consistently on my Facebook feed is this meme of Randy Orton retiring, because Randy Orton's about the same age. Probably a little bit younger, but Randy Orton barely wears anything to the ring, and so could you imagine he just drops his trunks and walks away naked? That's the most Randy Orton way possible to retire. Godsmack on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. It's Peach's Pit Party. So yesterday, after 5 o'clock, after Aubrey got off of work, I went over to her place in Rexburg, and we were hanging out, and I said, you know what? We should get started on this hobby that I've been wanting to get into. You ready for this? This is going to blow your mind. Candle making. That's right. I saw someone post about it and was like, you know what? Maybe I should take that up. Because every time I go to a store like Bath & Body Works or Walmart or Kohl's, and they have those candles, and sometimes they're for sale, but even the for sale, like the sale price, is still quite expensive. You gotta wait for Bath & Body Works to have like that $10 3-wick candle sale, but then everyone goes bananas for that. It's a whole lot cheaper just to make your own candles, apparently. So we went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, got the wax, got the wicks, the wood wicks. We're not messing around with the regular wicks. No, we want the crackling wood wicks. Got the scents. We got those wax cubes instead of the actual scent bottles. And we just melted the wax cubes into the wax to give it that nice scent. Now, I combined two things of wax cubes. I combined this like beach smell with peach, and we're calling it Peach Beach. We melted the whole thing last night, put it into the candle containers, bought the candle thermometer. Basically bought hey, let's get into candle making starter pack. And we'll see how it all turns out. We made our little 2 candles last night, and so I'll make sure to post a picture about it, I guess. Or maybe I should make a cheeseburger scented one, a brutal beef and liquid cheese scented one for Victor, and get it to him on his actual birthday on June 6th. This story sounds like something out of a low budget comedy, until you remember that these people were trying to scam insurance companies for luxury cars. Here's the wild part. They didn't just claim a bear attack. They staged it. We're talking a full-on person in a bear costume clawing at high-end vehicles like a Rolls-Royce Phantom, multiple Mercedes-Benz S-Class models. That's not exactly subtle. I'm talking about this Operation Bear Claw that is the subject of today's What the Headline. 3 people have been sentenced in a bizarre insurance fraud case in California that involved a bear costume, some very expensive cars. The scheme unraveled after investigators watched videos submitted with one of the claims. According to officials, the so-called bear didn't move like a bear at all. It moved like a person in a costume. A biologist with the California Fish and Wildlife Association Federation, whichever one it is, confirmed it was clearly a human in a bear suit. That raised even more eyebrows because brown bears haven't been seen in California in more than a century. Isn't that sad? Like, the California state flag has a brown bear on it. Sure enough, they're not there. Seal Beach, where I grew up, hasn't had seals since like 1926. Utterly ridiculous. That is today's What the Headline, right here on K-Bear 101. This is my favorite time for the secret sound powered by the advocates. I'm not doing the cue to call right now. It already happened today, and I called a few people. You can see the jackpot amount by going to the form via the K-Bear 101 app. Just open up the app, click on secret sound right there in the menu. It'll take you directly to it. All the incorrect guesses as well. It's my favorite time because this is when people start to say, "Oh, hey, like, let me take a shot at it. I know what the answer is. I know what it is." And then they tell me their answer, and they're so far off. They're not even close. It's that bad. So you can always try to give me your best guess whenever the cue to call happens. Tomorrow morning, 7:05. Tune in and let Victor tell you the times we'll play tomorrow. And then also make sure to fill out the form like I've been talking about. Right there next to below all the incorrect guesses, below where the potential clues are going to be. Also, right there at the very bottom, there's that form you can fill out for us to call you. And if you answer the phone and guess it correctly, you could win all that money in the prize pot. The K-Bear 101 secret sound powered by the advocates. We're going to eventually gift someone all this cash. Let's play Tom Morello with Caleb Shomo of Beartooth. Everything Burns on K-Bear 101. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.